play of the game from way down.
True, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bob says Nico gonna find Rainer.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. Tonight we have a Division B East matchup for you between the number 1 seed Phoenix Rising Ruby and the number 8 seed Bread Rising Yeast Sports. And so let's go ahead and take a look at our map bans, at our standings, all this stuff. We'll start with the map bans. Phoenix Rising Ruby with the map pick. So we're going to be going to Volskaya Foundry. Also, we've got the bans here from Phoenix Rising Ruby on Brax's Holdout and Dragonshire. Also, Bread Rising Yeast Sports banning out the Infernal Shrines and Towers of Doom. Checking out our brackets. So far, B East has not played any of their matches yet. We do have one coming up. It's going to be here on Saturday between Saltscale Murgles and Tiny Dancers. Regen Phoenix versus Jailbait is going to be on Sunday at 9:15 p.m. And it sounds like Party Time and Demonic Entity Within are going to be on Monday at 11 p.m. So there you go, and our standings, I did mention earlier that this is the number 1 and number 8 team, but let's take a look at how that looks here as soon as I find the, there we go. So 26 points to 16 points here, top to bottom. And give me just 1 second here. All right. So the teams are just about ready to go here. Let's see. All right, sounds good. Just had to clarify some details there for the rules. And I think we're about to get into this draft. There we go. There we go. I was gonna say what's going on. All right, so game number 1 is going to be played on Volskaya Foundry, and I've seen PRR play here. They're a strong team. They have the ability to team fight. They have the ability to here. Let me drop this chair down just a touch. There we go. They have good macro. They have good team fighting. So this is a map that gets a little bit of both. That said, Bread Rising Yeast Sports has had quite a second half of the season. So we'll see how they do tonight. They actually, if I remember correctly, took a game off of Phoenix Rising Ruby in their original matchup. So it was a 2-1 in that, in favor of Phoenix Rising Ruby. We're going to get rid of Kel'Thuzad first. Kel'Thuzad, a staple of purples. here we go. First ban gonna be Blaze coming out for Phoenix Rising Ruby. All right, just finishing up there. All right, Deathwing going to be banned out here. Now, I expect to see an Oriole ban here. Yeah. So what do you see as a first pick on Volskaya Foundry? So there are a lot of positive heroes here, like Johanna does well here because she can stay on the point forever. You could see Stukov with his AoE silences. You could even see a Kael'thas. We did see some double support out of Bread Rising, so we could see an Uther. It's gonna be the Johanna. And the Uther gonna be going over to the other side. Have seen them play that a fair bit, so completely reasonable, somewhat expected, you might say. And of course, all the names are on the wrong sides. Cool. And the Greymane. Greymane goes really well with the Uther. He's going to give him some armor. He's going to give him the potential for Divine Shield. We're going to see Yrel and Thrall. So Yrel is a hero that we haven't seen a whole ton of. Have been seeing her more recently. Did I have that right? Yes, I do. So she can take that Avenging Wrath talent, give them the armor, give her a reduced cooldown potentially even. So Ana's going to be the ban, third and final one for Phoenix Rising Ruby. And what do we get out of Bread Rising here? To go along with the Kel'Thuzad Deathwing. So we've got the Uther Greymane. Uther is likely the tank. I like the Balganis ban. That's a good ban. I can't remember if they've played it much, because we played them back at the very beginning of the season. Gonna see that ETC picked up here. So ETC also a good hero on this map because he can get a lot of stuns with his power slides and his mosh pit. So it's gonna be an off lane Uther there for us. So they do have the Thrall for roots. We've got Johanna stuns with shields. So looking for some big booms here. So maybe a Jaina comes in with this. Could even potentially see a Raynor. I think Jaina would go well. Oh, could be even a... Yeah, okay. And our last pick here for Phoenix Rising. What's it gonna be? We've got the Stukov there. It's gonna be Li Ming. Those big booms. Let's see. Oh, I don't have the pull on here anymore. I gotta see if I can find that again. There we go. Make sure they didn't move around here on me. Doesn't look like it. Ah, they did. Just the two. All right. Poll in chat. Who do you think wins game number one? Is it going to be Phoenix Rising Ruby on the left? Or is it going to be Bread Rising Yeast Sports here on the right? Got all kinds of slows and roots coming out for Bread Rising. But a lot of stuns and silences here for Phoenix Rising. So this is going to be... And by the way, can I just comment on the fact that there's a whole lot of Rising going on over here? There's Bread Rising. There's Phoenix Rising. Everybody's just having a rising good time. All right, well, let's start with our Div B East #1 seed. That? Why is it doing red first? I'm confused. Try this again. Ah, well, pop-ups might be wrong. On the left, Phoenix Rising Ruby. We've got Purple playing the Uther, Jasillo on ETC, Gata playing Li Ming, Rodney Strong, I believe, on the Stukov. Yes, and then Wacko on Greymane? Greymane. And for Bread Rising, we've got McGiblets on Malfurion. We've got Jaina played by Narina. Shenanigans going to be playing the Johanna, Duke of Sky on the Thrall, and Linehouse on Urel. Bread Rising Yeast Sports, indeed, Murda, indeed. Alright, well, the action taking place in the bottom lane here, a little bit of a different location for this map, especially here. Big root coming out from Thrall, gonna hit onto 3. Silence coming down onto Johanna, but she's got her Unstoppable proc, so didn't even worry about that a little bit. But up in the top lane now, we got Urel clearing up the minions here. And Phoenix Rising coming in with a lot of votes, getting 4 votes out of this. 80% of the votes here in chat saying that Phoenix Rising is going to win. And it looks like Bread Rising's going to head over to their fortification camp first. And Shenanigans just kind of stalling out the cow, making sure that he can't quite get there to help out his team just at the moment. Uther versus Urel now in the bottom lane. Traditionally the more solo lane here for Volskaya Foundry. But Thrall is all by himself up there, so this is a bit of an aggressive attempt here. 5-on-4. It really was a 5-on-2 there. Urel's going to get that knockback with her Righteous Hammer. And take a couple of arcane missiles there, right into the back. Meanwhile, Thrall up in the top lane, able to get all of that soak. Li Ming might be able to catch up to all of it. Yeah, she's able to get there. Stewie! Welcome. Fox Spam also. I thought you'd already followed, but, you know, it's all good. Maybe... Oh my god, I hope you don't have to refollow now that I've changed the title. That'd be unfortunate. Yikes. Well, the support camp going to be picked up here by Bread Rising, and it looks like that should be fairly comfortable for them. Maybe? As ETC is going to come in, he does have the knockback, so the root coming out is going to get first blood. ETC taken out, standing in that blizzard. The biotic emitter there, eventually picked up by Thrall. And Urel is going to get stunned here. They do have that bio emitter now. So that gives them a bit of an advantage coming into this control point A. Bread Rising now going to work on their siege camp, while Johanna tries to clean up the siege camp making its way against them. We've got Gata going into that Li Ming orb build, at least currently here, taking the force armor as well for that spell armor and the additional mana return early on. Thrall and Johanna trying to deal with top lane here, while the point contested between Uther and Li Ming. But Urel taking just boatloads of damage there, gets stunned. That takes an orb right to the back of the head. But now with the turret here, it looks like... No, it doesn't look like anything. Uther's just going to stand right on the edge of that. DB Smiley showing up saying, hey, I want to see an upset. And which of this is this the strangling? Yeah, it is strangling. So healing reduction anytime Malfurion can get that root to land. Greymane up in the top, keeping the pressure going here. Urel versus Uther. I wouldn't have expected that to be quite as one-sided as it appears to be. Uther only having 10 stacks of his Q quest at level 1 there. Of important note, we don't have Uther going into the stun build to the Hammer of the Lightbringer here. ETC is going to power slide in. They do have 7s, the root going out, and Malfurion dodging the Arcane Orb there. Going full Matrix here. Purple stunning the Malfurion. Now Linehouse, 17 health, is going to get taken out there by the Holy Shock, I think. Actually, it was Stukov, it looks like. And Greymane looking for the Thrall, so that's going to be a double kill coming out for Phoenix Rising Ruby. Now, it is 98% for Bread Rising, so they're going to have plenty of time to resurrect, get back in here, and go for round 2. ETC by himself here is trying to stall out this rotation, but there are 3 heroes here. Jaina already very low. Greymane going to say, hey, thanks for the free kill. And this is becoming increasingly likely that Phoenix Rising is going to get the Protector here as they stagger these deaths. The camp picked up here. We do get the turret over onto purple, so Uther carrying that around now. 76, 77%. Jaina is on her way back. So this is the time to get ready to fight. They got to have this contested. And here it comes. Jaina's on her way. Let's show these 10s coming up soon here. Yrel getting stunned. The Condemn coming out from Johanna. The turret on the ground is going to get some damage here. Greymane, however, going to fall to the Thrall up above. Yrel getting stunned once again. The orbs coming in, doing a lot of damage onto this front line. Thrall going back. Linehouse trying to make it out, just cannot get out of there. But there's the stun onto Narina. Jaina falling very low here, but so is ETC. ETC's going to have to pull back. Narina might die if there's a bio kill switch available. Didn't matter because Li Ming says, I got this. Comes in with that teleport, throws out a couple missiles, and suddenly a calamity. Level 10's now online for Phoenix Rising Ruby. They've got the Massive Shove, the Wave of Force, Cursed Bullet, the Mosh Pit, and so far Uther hasn't made his selection. Gonna be the Divine Storm. So after the wall coming into the top here, getting that well pretty quickly. It only takes about 1 punch when you're at level 10 to clear out a well. And not a lot of damage potential here with just the Jaina to be able to take down this Protector. So this Protector is going to get the top fort down pretty far. Level 10's available here for both teams now. So we'll see if they can make something work with the 2 heroes coming out of this Protector, although Thrall very low. It's going to be Ardent Defender, the Twilight Dream, Ring of Frost, Earthquake, and Blessed Shield. She has the Unstoppable, but she didn't use Blessed Shield. Oh, man. That could have been so good, too. There's the Ring of Frost, Blessed Shield going out. They get the kill into ETC. Earthquake's going to go out as well. Jaina trying to stall the Stukov here. Wacko heading off to the bottom. Divine Storm coming out. Uther's going to get rooted. And both Uther and Stukov going to be taken out. Triple kill. Even without setting it up how I thought they should, they still were able to pick that up. What a great ring out of Narina there. And, oh, by the way, Jaina's all set and done with that Ice Block quest. DB Smiley, every time I look over and see that chat, I keep thinking that it says, let's go Brad. And I'm like, oh, Doc's and somebody out there, but yeah, there's an E in there. All right, Fortification Camp gonna be the target here. ETC's gonna go power sliding in, the Unstoppable from Johanna. There's the Mosh Pit, the big Condemn. ETC getting very low and is going to get taken out here. Bread Rising using the Biotic Emitter. Yrel pouncing some faces here as Stukov falling very low. We got Johanna in the backline trying to zone out the Uther. And that might be all that we see out of this one. Bread Rising doing a fantastic job on that camp invade. And really, shenanigans, I gotta point out, using that Iron Skin and really even before the Mosh Pit was triggered to make sure that as soon as that happened, Condemn was out, Mosh Pit was interrupted, and we get a double kill. So now, let's see, we got 2 turrets here. Do we have any more? So just the 2 turrets so far here for Bread Rising. Obviously no Biotic Emitter, they just used that. And no turrets yet for for Phoenix Rising. Let's go, Brad. I love it. All right, well, the rotation coming up into the top now. This no guys, what are you doing? Top was gone. Maybe it wasn't. I really thought that was just toast. They could have gone in there with all of them showing bot. But now Uther's in the bottom, so this is a massive value here for Phoenix, for Bread Rising rather. Double Root getting the kills here. Looking maybe for this Greymane. One more hit should do it, and they get it. So a triple kill. Screw the caster, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I was gonna say that they should have just snuck down here, taken out what they could in the bot lane, probably even gotten that, gotten the fort. They have, you know, Thrall and Jaina. But you know what? Getting triple kill and saving your fort? That's a good value right there. So right now, I don't think we've seen any 8 seed teams take a game even off of a 1 seed. So this is looking very strong so far for Bread Rising. Now, there are more talents coming. 16, 20 could change the landscape of this game. Now, Yrel in the bot lane is going to show. That's going to give Phoenix Rising the go-ahead to get back onto this point here. And Johanna pop an Iron Skin to accept that orb. ETC now has the option to run on in with a mosh pit. Not a lot of minions, though. Here's Yrel, gets the power slide as she's trying to jump in. I'm not sure, was there yeah, there was a mosh pit attempt there. It was knocked away by Linehouse. The root going out. We're going to see the double Ring of Frost once again onto ETC and Stukov, but not quite able to get into it and get any kills here. Condemned going out onto Greymane. Greymane's going to be able to get out thanks to that assist play coming from the Li Ming. Now, Yrel did get pushed rather far back there, so the cooldown coming just back now for Stukov on that massive shove. We see Yrel heading down to mid lane. They already have the 16s. Here comes the mosh pit. Johanna coming in with the Condemned, does get the interrupt. Twilight Dream going out as well here. And there's the Divine Storm. Yrel coming in now. Big roots coming out from the Thrall. But Johanna's going to fall here. So much damage into this team. There is the turret going out, but ultimately just going to be the 2 kills. And I think that was a big misplay from Bread Rising. They sent the Yrel down. They had all the advantage, and then once they sent her away, that was done. But Stukov getting knocked back by that Hammer of the Righteous, or Righteous Hammer rather, is going to give them at least a counter kill here. Looking for the Uther. They might get this as well. They do. At what cost? Never mind. ETC's just going to die. I thought they were going to see the Jaina die, but Wacko here on the Greymane going to be the next to fall, and it's just Li Ming by her lonesome. These guys are making plays out of things that should not work. And it feels like this is more Phoenix Rising kind of dropping the ball in some of these fights. You know, having the Stukov out here kind of isolated, you know, certainly left a bit of a problem. And then once they got that Stukov down, it was a lot easier, right? Because then your Uther's only got so much damage, right? And when they're trying to poke him down or poke down the allies there, it's very difficult. So everything I said earlier, forget it. It's all Bread Rising at this point, as they get the second protector here. Control point B. Linehouse down in the bot lane there, cleaning up the lane. We need to have Mirror Ball here for the Li Ming, so she's going to get even more damage out of those missiles. But they're not getting a lot of value out of this protector. They're mostly, I guess, getting the value out of the soak from Yrel, but Uther's down there as well, so they're just not getting any commitment. Johanna's in the mid lane, so she's gathering soak as well. They're working on getting that level 20. But they're not looking to get much in the way of structure damage here. If they were going to stand around, I think I would have rather have seen them just go as 5 into the bot lane. We see the assist calls coming in from behind as Greymane Now, there's no unstoppable on the side of Phoenix Rising. Nice Divine Storm there, getting into 3, but is in a bit of a dangerous spot. There's the mosh pit. The glove perfectly timed there from Malfurion onto ETC to interrupt there, but it's going to be Thrall getting taken out. Yrel diving in after Purple. Needs another Avenging Wrath, but can't quite get there. The Protector's going to fall here. Malfurion does have the biotic emitter, so he can use that. Checking up here, it's going to be Shenanigans falling to the Li Ming in a 2 for nothing there. And not a whole lot of structure value either. They are, however, very far ahead in the XP, so they will get the level 20s here a fair bit in advance. Maybe gonna see the Twilight Dream. Ring of Frost coming out is going to keep ETC under the keep, but Malfurion's going to fall, and the biotic emitter now picked up by Li Ming. Does Purple fall? Purple falls, yeah, to the fort. Okay, Jaina getting those extra frost bolts in there as well. Now gonna have to kind of get out of this. I didn't even see, how did she, oh, from the bio kill switch. Okay, well, there you go. Staggering the deaths are Bread Rising, Yeast Sports, and Phoenix Rising now picking it up. They've gotten closer in kills here. Might even interrupt that back. No, not quite. Getting closer in kills, getting closer in the XP as well. And going in 3v4 here. But why not? It's worked for them before. They have no healer. Thrall taking all 5 of those arcane missiles, and you saw how quickly his health dropped. 5 missiles to his health bar is about 40% of it or so. Level 20 is now online for Bread Rising, but they don't have Jaina, so this is still uneven numbers for them, and that is not a good thing for them. The level 20s are great, but yeah, okay. So this is going to give now 2 biotic emitters over to Phoenix Rising Ruby, and they're just about 20. So all of the advantages that we saw earlier for Bread Rising, those are gone. This is now all in the hands of Phoenix Rising Ruby, and they have a path to victory. They've got Fort down, they've got Keep Wall down. If they pick up this Protector, it's likely game over. So Bread Rising has to be mindful of this. They have to be mindful of the fact that they need to coordinate their team fights. They need to get those team fights to work out the way that they did early game. And here they come, looking for the Uther. Not quite able to get the Uther there. They're going to get the pull in onto the siege camp. Li Ming tosses out an orb, doesn't quite hit where she wants it to. ETC's on the hunt here for the Jaina, not quite able to get there, but Yrel going in to the back line now is going to get the Cursed Bullet. And let's take a look at these level 20s again here. So it's going to be Repulsion for Li Ming, so look for those really long range and heavy burst wave of force. We could see it right here. Okay, I was going to say we might see it here on this Thrall to separate them. The Hunter's Blunderbuss for Greymane there. Big damage going out onto Yrel. We got the root to zone out. Purple is in far here. Gets the stun out onto Linehouse, the only one. Nobody's going to get hit by the Ring. Frost Biotic Emitter is going to go down here. Linehouse pulling back as Jasillo getting that face melt. There's the wave of force, but it's not quite where it needed to be. Could see a kill onto Purple, maybe? Looking like they're trying for it, but just can't quite get it. The keep did do a lot of damage, but also the slow. Uther able to heal himself up there. Also of note, Uther will come back if he dies here, so he's got an instant, practically an instant res. And Jaina being cheeky coming down on this. This is super dangerous, though. So we got Yrel to come in and help out. Orb gonna come in, but that's gonna be a nice, easy, free pickup for Phoenix Rising. And once again, another advantage handed over to Phoenix Rising here. So One of the biotic emitters was used earlier, so there's still one. There's now a turret as well. And it sounds like we just had somebody leave the battle. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. We may get a pause here soon. Root going out onto ETC. He's going to get caught. Is going to be able to survive. But the Twilight Dream coming out. They get the kill onto the ETC with the death metal. But the kill onto Stukov as well. And now Uther. Uther's coming back. Greymane's up here in the top. Li Ming is still a bot. Yeah, okay. So they're not... They just don't care. Well, they'll get the top fort. So I don't know what happened there, but they got a bot. They were split. Greymane was top, so even with the bot coming up, even with that disconnect, it was still a disconnect just in the play. Oh, there we go. All right, turn back the chat. Yep. They're just discussing about being able to pause, so yep. Yeah, if you've got a DC, folks, go ahead and pause. Can give it a few minutes to try to get them back into the game, work things out. Agreed. Let's see, what do we got? Kel'Thuzad, Deathwing, Ana. Who was that last ban for Fred Rising? I don't remember. It does move, yeah. Most things do move. There are very few things that don't get moved by the conveyor belt. Li Ming and Stukov. All right, well, I got them all written down, which I would have done later, but now I'll do it now. Anybody happen to remember who that third ban was? It was Kel'Thuzad, Deathwing, and I don't remember. All right, so it sounds like it's going to be a few minutes here as the player is restarting. So we're just gonna do a quick commercial break. And I'll keep an eye on the timer here, and hopefully we'll be coming back here soon. So, be right back.
When I was young, I lived a life of recklessness. In my selfishness, I inflicted pain and hurt those I cared for. I have learned many lessons in my struggles with doubt and fear. Balance and harmony are not easily attained. They must be fought for!
All right, we're back. Didn't quite take as long as they thought, so we cut the Hanamura short. Don't worry, we'll come back to it, I'm sure. We've got Thrall down here, gonna be able to pick up the Protector. Now, hopefully we'll see a little bit more value out of this Protector. This is a almost 21 minute game Protector. So lots of value out of this. And we now, oops, no, didn't want to go to that. All right, Urel still hanging out in the mid lane. Working toward that level 22, I'm sorry, 23. And is now going to head on down here. The Protector already down 30%. I don't know, guys. I don't know about this one. Jaina using that Ice Blink, I think, to get out of there. The Blessed Shield coming out, and ETC's just gonna get deleted. Got a little far forward from the rest of his team. And now with that kill, Protector's coming in. They don't have the gloves, so they can't shut down the tower. So the tower's just doing damage in onto the fort, or onto the Protector rather here. Linehouse very far in the background, gets the blinded by the light shield from Johanna here. And Uther's gonna go down here, does not have his redemption. That must have happened earlier. What's the cooldown on that here? Is that here? Redemption, yeah, so still 40 seconds away. And now Thrall is the only one in the Protector, so it's not getting as much damage. There's Jaina popping off her spells to try to get more damage on them there. And the Protector goes down, so still anybody's game at this point. 2 lanes down for Phoenix Rising, 2 lanes now down for Bread Rising. Bread Rising has their fortification camp available. That's where they're heading now. Phoenix Rising also has theirs. The support camp will be coming up in just a moment. It's always fun catching that. Just like dropping it. Just bam. Here it is. Shenanigans solo over here does pop in with the Unstoppable. Now doesn't have it for the Mosh Pit. There's the Twilight Dream though. Death Metal almost didn't get any value because of the Wave of Force, but just on the edge. I think actually the heroes kind of walked back into that one. The rotation coming up into the support camp here. Gonna give them, once again, that item advantage that they had early in the game. 30 seconds here until ETC is back on the map. So, I mean, they're playing for the next team fight, but the reality is that they've got to get structure damage. We saw it early game. They didn't get a lot of structure damage from their first Protector. The second Protector they got eventually after they got the ETC killed, but ETC's been dead for 45 seconds, and we're not seeing much. We're playing for control point A at this point. But now that ETC is back up, it looks like we're going to push this lane up and move forward here. All of our ultimates are available for both teams in a few seconds. Ring of Frost coming online now. Twilight Dream in about 10 seconds after that. And we should hear a announcement here soon. Haven't seen what before, Fox Spam. Urel's gonna get the siege camp heading up into the top lane here, so she'll be rejoining back to the team soon. And here it is, control point A. This is where the game is likely to end. In theory, I suppose it might not, but looking for this rotation up. Can they get nice face melt there, interrupting the Avenging Wrath? Here comes Johanna. She does have Blessed Shield. There it goes. Expecting the Ring of Frost. Gets the Mosh Pit as well. Massive shove all the way to the other side of the map. Twilight Dream coming out, though. ETC got rooted there. Is going to be able to make it out. So, a whole lot of ultimates. No deaths. Also, still the bio emitter and the turret for Bread Rising. They also have that siege camp going in the top lane, so I mean it's not nothing. It will eventually do some structure damage there. ETC's coming in looking for the power slide, doesn't get it. Gets rooted there by Jaina. Duke of Sky though falling pretty low, does have the emitter to heal him up, and blinded by the light did go out there, but Thrall's going to get taken out. Linehouse in the back. Purple coming in, gets the stun onto Malfurion. Root going out to zone out. They're looking for the Jaina. She's going to Ice Blink out. Ardent Defender used there by Yrel. Back at the control point and is now going to have to pull away. 64% here for Bread Rising. Now, they did stall that out long enough. Normally, if you get a kill, this control point becomes yours. Like, there's just nothing. They can't get that player back here when it's this late in the game. But they're going to go in with the 4v4 as Li Ming's up in the top lane here. Greymaine's a little far away too, as Curse Bullet going out onto Linehouse. Going to hit the Unstoppable, trying to get out of there. Does get that shield from Johanna, but here comes Li Ming. By the way, 78% now. Phoenix Rising actually pulled off there, off the point, and so Bread Rising was actually able to pick that point up. And Thrall will be here in just a few seconds. They're going to Hearth, get nice and healthy, and come back into this. ETC checking to make sure that they're not on the support camp. Oh, the support camp drop it. Gotcha. Yeah. It's actually really weird when you're right above it. All right, here we go. This is it. This is for all the marbles, I think. This fight right here. ETC's coming around underneath. Is going to probably be scouted by Johanna. Does get the ping, yeah. Let's put that away. Overtime procced. ETC does have Mosh. In fact, all ultimates available except Ardent Defender. ETC's looking for that Mosh. Is going to knock back the Malfurion. There goes the Silence and the Blessed Shield there. Uther going to have to pull away. Thrall, however, might get the kill. Looking for it on the... But double Ring of Frost there, getting the kill onto Uther below. And so many blue health bars very low here. The Root going out is going to get the Stukov. Thrall getting the lightning here onto ETC. That's going to slow him down. They might be able to get this kill if they can get another hit, but it doesn't look like it. They just need to go back and get this protector. This protector is a 28-minute protector. And they have a path right to the core, right here. Stopping to get a siege camp, as you do. Li Ming trying to throw bombs here from below. Thrall gonna get the root onto Uther. Oh, and ETC power slides right into it. The 40 healing reduction. And that's gonna be a dead Uther. He's not coming back either. Yrel coming in with the protector and the... Oh, the Blessed Shield just missed there. ETC making it out with that power slide. The glove gonna shut down the fort here. Greymaine's gonna be up soon, as is Stukov. No Uther though. I think this is... Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Look at how much damage that thing is doing to the core. And just wondering, let's look. 710 damage. So when that was punching the core, it was doing 3,500. That's 10% of its health at that point. Actually, it's more than that. It's like 15% of its health because it's 10% when you account for the shield. Quite the game. Bread Rising really stepping it up. Finding themselves a victory here. Winning so many of these team fights. And when you look at these stats here, 135,000 damage for Greymane. 126,000 for Jaina. Big damage coming out from these teams. But again, I think this is the first 8th seed to take a point off of a 1 seed. But that's not new. They did that in the regular season. This is the game where Phoenix Rising now needs to evaluate what they just played against and what changes they need to make. But we'll come back and get into that in a moment. Let's go back into that Hanamura. Give you guys the opportunity to check in on Genji and Diva and Diablo. Also Stewie and Harwatson want to say... Oh, Harwatson was a couple days ago. Stewie, want to shout you out for your follow. Thank you. I appreciate it. But we'll be back in just a minute.
When I was young, I lived a life of recklessness. In my selfishness, I inflicted pain and hurt those I cared for. I have learned many lessons in my struggles with doubt and fear. Balance and harmony are not easily attained. They must be fought for. But on my journey, I have learned another lesson. You do not have to fight alone.
Let's do this! Woohoo!
Hey, y'all out there. If you're gonna get through the summer, you need stamina. You need strength. You need Takis Finley's Bust Your Ass Workout. You want a beach buddy for the first time in your timid little life? Well, I got the toughest fitness program in the multiverse. But you cannot argue with results. I guarantee I can turn anybody into a rock-solid hero!
Looks like you need a timeout.
Takis Finley, Bust Your Ass, and Takis Finley are not responsible for damage inflicted by cannonballs, ghost pirates, enemy minions, garden terrors, web weavers, dragon knights, or immortals. Please consult the support class to determine if Bust Your Ass is right for you. All sales final. As I was saying, I can transform any... Now listen, you know none of this is legally binding, right? Well, it's about summertime.
All right, and we are back, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? I'm gonna go ahead and give Phoenix Rising their point. Wait, the standings don't look right. Hold on, let's take a look at this. Go back into this bracket. Did this bracket get screwed up? It sure did. 3 and 6 should not be up there with 1 and 8. Oh my goodness. Let's fix that real quick here. Red Rising. While we're waiting, the teams are all together. I'll be ready here. All right, the teams are all set up and ready to go here. So, just waiting on them to confirm. Any dancers? Get rid of that. And this is Diwali Committee within. Party time. Dancers. Just fixing all this stuff, you know, on the fly, as you do. Got to make sure that it all looks correct. Boom. There we go. So again, none of these matches have been played. Phoenix Rising Ruby versus Bread Rising is what we're seeing now, currently up 1-0 in favor of Bread Rising. Salt Scale Murgles and Tiny Dances, that's going to be coming up on Saturday night at 8:30 Eastern, right here on this channel. Party Time and Demonic Entity Within on Monday night at 11 p.m. Eastern. And finally, Regen Phoenix versus Jailbait, 9:15 on Sunday, 9:15 Eastern. But, all right. We are in our draft. We're going to Tomb of the Spider Queen here. It's the wrong one. There we go. Hey, Litterrock, thanks for the sub. Much appreciated. Always glad to see it. I do still owe you that cast, and I think it's going to be Sunday. I'm going to be pulling a couple of replays on Sunday in the afternoon. Sticking with that Kel'Thuzad ban here. Let's see. This was the pick of the red team. Alright, so Kel'Thuzad. I guess we'll find out if somebody bans out that third hero, because I can't remember what that was. Was it Garrosh? It might have been Garrosh, actually. Oh, no, it was Mal'Ganis. That's right. Mal'Ganis. So no Garrosh, no hiding in the bush, gathering people. Come here. You look pitiful. Come here. All right then. And there we go, back into the Oriole ban. Johanna switching sides. Let's see, did we have any roster changes? I don't think so. Nope, sure don't. So Jusilla gonna change over from ETC to Johanna. Very different type of tank there. And we're gonna get the Rel once again, along with Gul'dan. So Duke of Sky gonna be playing the, well, possibly. Anyways, I mean, they had the Jaina selected last time, so we might see another swap. Gul'dan's going to bring them the wave clear that they need here. And then Wacko going straight back into that gray main. Did get a lot of damage. Had those cursed bullets on point pretty much every time. Ana going to be the pick here as well, so changing over from Stukov to Ana. Indeed. Red Rising up 1-0 is a very, very strong game from them as well. Third ban here. Is it going to be... It's not going to be Mal'Ganis because that's they already have their tank. It's going to be the Ragnaros. Okay. All right, third and final ban. Was there something that they didn't like? Did they not like that Malfurion, maybe? I mean, Malfurion did a lot of work. So did Johanna. I mean, Johanna did a lot of value for them. It's going to be the Mal'Ganis, though. Johanna can kind of walk through a lot of what Malfurion wants to bring, so even though Malfurion was a very strong point for them last game, honestly, the Jaina Ring of Frost were fantastic as well. Not all of them being set up either. They were, oftentimes they were just raw rings that were well timed and ultimately netted out a lot of damage, getting some kills. So we're gonna get the Sylvanas and Stukov here. So holding on to the tank until the last pick. Purple for the Leoric. All right, then. Kind of an interesting draft. Not immediately great with wave clear. Leoric can get the Neil Peasants. Hanzo can take the explosive arrows. Obviously, Greymane's got his cocktails. So, I mean, he's got... They do have some wave clear. It's not super great. Certainly not by comparison to Gul'dan, who can just, like, burn down a wave. And we're going to get that Blaze as the last pick here. Make sure they're not changing anybody around. And hopefully the overlay works this time. But who do you think wins game number 2? Does game number 1 change your perception on what happens here? Vote in chat at the top right of your screen, right up there. Hit that drop down, select the team you would like to win or that you expect should win based on these drafts. Hit the vote button. Neither of the teams have portrait synergy, so as far as I'm concerned, 100% up in the air. It could be either team. All right, well, coming off their hot game 1 win, we've got Bread Rising Yeast Sports. We're going to have Shenanigans playing the Blaze, Narina playing Sylvanas, Duke of Sky on Gul'dan, Linehouse on the Urel, and Stukov going to be played by McGiblets. And over here for Phoenix Rising Ruby, looking to equalize this up, take us to a game 3. It's going to be Jasillo on Johanna, Wacko playing the Greymane, Purple on the Leoric, Rodney Strong on Anna, and Gata playing the Hanzo. And already these votes coming in saying Bread Rising looked really strong in that game. So there you go. We'll see. Chat was 4-1 in favor of Phoenix Rising last game. So far, 3-1. We'll see how this turns out. A little bit of a different comp setup here. Again, the Johanna being the X factor here. Johanna's going to have to pop that unstoppable to get out, though. Was very close to dying with that silence. But Johanna was on the side of Bread Rising. Whereas Phoenix Rising had that ETC for the power slide. Jet Propulsion coming in is going to save the life of Gul'dan. Duke of Sky making it out of there with almost no health. And that was kind of what I was going to say, is that the Blaze kind of taken over that spot of the ETC, except for the other team. So checking these talents out here, we do have the Echoed Corruption here for Gul'dan. We've got Dauntless for Urel, so getting that physical armor. Daribo, I would agree. Gonna get that Condemn here, pulling in the Blaze. A lot of damage going out on the team. Wacko there in the back, taking a lot of damage between the, I assume mostly from the Gul'dan. Might be able to get this kill onto Johanna, the Unstoppable coming out. She no longer has any shielding, but it's actually going to be Hanzo pressuring the Gul'dan, and both teams getting a kill out of this. Slight advantage out of that, just from a XP standpoint, over to Phoenix Rising Ruby, because they were slightly behind in XP at the time. As you can see, all of 2 points of difference. Leoric getting a lot of damage, but he's going to be able to make it out. Let's take a look at gems here, shall we? That one? That one. Neither team turned in any gems so far. Most of the gems sitting on Johanna, as often the case on Tomb of the Spider Queen here. Sylvanas is going to get to work on the Bruiser camp here. Also does have the Merc Queen, so can stun these mercenaries, but more importantly is going to get a big burst of damage from them when they make it into the lane. And it looks like Jasillo going to be able to turn in 20 gems, the first of any gems turned in for this map so far. But Johanna doesn't have a lot of mana here. So at some point she's going to have to either pull back, go tap, or go back entirely. Bruiser Camps meeting in the middle, and this is a full 5-on-5. You're all jumping in, jet propulsion, hitting 3. The Righteous Hammer knocking back all of them again. Leoric right into the middle of things here. But right now it's Phoenix Rising pulling back a bit. The Bruiser Camp is going to be taken down. And still a fair bit of Bruiser health here for Bread Rising. Urel down in the bot lane here versus Leoric. We'll show that up a little bit here while the teams are kind of dancing around, turning in up above, gathering their XP in the lanes there. As we see a bit of a rotation, possibly looking for this Sylvanas here. She's just going to use the Haunting Wave to get out of danger. So no big deal there. Blaze turning in the bot half, so is going to get another 20 turned in here for the opposite team now. I expect Lyric's going to be able to stall that out. Gul'dan's going to continue soaking these lanes as the teams are now trying to get these turned in here. Purple having to Wraith Walk away, taking so much damage. One more attack. If Gul'dan was here, that could have been a kill, but Gul'dan up in the top lane with Johanna and Hanzo having to pull back a bit. But now they're on their way. Urel getting put to sleep. Does probably have Avenging Wrath. Doesn't end up using it. Haunting Wave from Sylvanas, able to get out. Gul'dan now coming in, gets some corruption sitting there onto the Greymane, but it looks like Jasilla gonna turn in some more. And our first Web Weaver's coming in. Gonna be for the blue team here. Phoenix Rising. Johanna pawning her bling. I'm not sure what I missed. I probably said, oh, no rings. I don't know. All right, so Urel's gonna head back. That's gonna have Sylvanas coming down into the bot lane to try to clean up this Web Weaver. And that's probably okay. I mean, Gul'dan has really consistent spell damage that can go out onto this, so that's probably not a big deal. Should be able to clear this up before it gets any real significant damage onto the wall. Although taking a wave to the face, never a good idea here. Bottom Web Weaver just about cleared up as Urel making her way down into the bot lane there. Oh yeah, dropping off the gems, thanks. So Sylvanas gonna get taken out there between Greymane and Hanzo. Now Shenanigans really deep in there as Blaze gonna lose some gems here. And Gul'dan might also. Not looking so great. Triple kill. Phoenix Rising coming back strong, saying, you know what, that first game was a fluke. We are all about this. And they've already got the mid fort down. A lot more value than I expected to see out of those Web Weavers there. I thought that Web Weaver in the mid lane would be taken out just like the other two, but not quite. And they're working on top lane now that they've got level 10s. And why not? You got Greymane, you got Johanna there to tank. Of course, it's targeting Greymane because he was the closest. But rotating in here, looking for the Leoric. Sacrificing the fort so that they could get the Web Weavers. They don't have level 10s yet either. Although in theory, if they can get any waves, they should be able to get it before the Web Weavers make their way up into the lanes here. So level 10's now online for both teams. Bunker is going to be the pickup there for Blaze. We got the Wailing Arrow, the Horrify Ardent Defender. Stukov hasn't made up his mind yet. Meanwhile, for Phoenix Rising, we got the Blessed Shield, the Nano Boost, Dragon Arrow, Cursed Bullet, and Entomb. No March of the Black King. Speaking of the Black King here, he is in the bot lane there, cleaning up that bottom Web Weaver. Big damage going out onto the Greymane, helping from the Web Weaver. And those waves are, I mean, those are not insignificant. There's Urel diving in, looking for the Greymane, is going to get stunned though. Blaze coming in with Unstoppable. Can they get it? They do. The parting shot from the Crossfire from Blaze. Now, this tower is still active and there's all of one minion left here. So they need to turn around and finish this off. And they do. Leoric, meanwhile, was able to clear out bot lane, able to clear out the mid lane as well. They do have Sylvanas. I assume she has black arrows. There they are. And Urel's not really sure if they want to be here or not. We are going to see the team rotating in, a big potential entomb there, and the flailing swipe gonna save the team. But the dragon arrow coming in, everybody's pushed back, so it didn't really get any follow up. So great job there. The nano boost went out onto Greymane as well. So a lot of ultimates used. Ardent Defender and Blessed Shield, the only ones remaining. Don't think that Blaze has his Pyro. Oh, he does. Never mind. So Unstoppable is available here for Blaze. There it goes, trying to bring down the damage incoming here as Leoric is going to get taken out. Ardent Defender popped for the Urel, and they're zoning out these 30 plus gems quite nicely. And on top of that, Red Rising once again turning in. They've got enough for a turn in here. Just a few more. Blaze gonna go right on up, turn that in. We do have the siege camp being picked up in the bot lane as well, so interested to see where they go with this. If they continue to push bot lane since they're all pretty much here, or if they're gonna head to the top lane opposite of that siege camp that's gonna have a web weaver going with it. And here they come. The wave is pushed up pretty decently, so with the bruiser camp here, gonna clear this out as quickly as possible. Greymane's heading up to the top. The rest of the team for Phoenix Rising heading into the bot. So this is gonna be a rotation up, looking for the Greymane. We see the pings calling out saying, get out of there. They're coming, and that's gonna be that. Greymane's gonna make it out. Mid fort should go down, although the web weaver's still very far back here. Bot lane was taken out. That's going to be the second fort now. Forts even for both teams. Level 13s for both teams. Jonna taking the safe way, coming around, making sure that she can get in here and help to defend against these web weavers without putting herself in too rough of a position. How much health do these web weavers have? So 8,800, that's not a lot of health. Leoric getting brought very low there. Almost got taken out by the Blaze jet propulsion with that crossfire. Linehouse gonna get put to sleep. Likely falls here? Maybe? Maybe not. The Horrify coming out. Oh, never mind. The 5-man Dragon Arrow. Just enough. And now the full retreat call from Bread Rising here. There's no Horrify. And Tomb's gonna go out. They're gonna get the Gul'dan Wailing Arrow. They do get the kill. Thanks to that bunker onto the Leoric too. Blaze does not have enough mana to jet propulsion though. The knockback from Stukov might be enough, but he's slowed as well. There's that jet propulsion, and that is it. That's all Blaze has. So Leoric the only one down, but will be up about the same time as Gul'dan. Level 15 to 14 currently in favor of Phoenix Rising Ruby on their quest to level 16s. Structures, however, slightly in favor of Phoenix Rising, of Bread Rising. Too many Risings. And they know that they're here. This has got to be done. Blessed Shield coming out. Gul'dan's nowhere nearby. This is basically just a whole lot of death, I think. Oh, they got off the point. Okay. Linehouse used that Ardent Defender. Sylvanas as well falling. Stukov make it a triple kill, and that was just, you know, that was great awareness by Phoenix Rising Ruby to recognize that the camp had been taken, or was currently active rather. Gul'dan getting the damage reduction there. Wraithwalk, what is that? Ominous Wraith? Yeah, Ominous Wraith. So reducing the damage quite significantly. And with a bruiser camp and the web weavers coming in, this keep is definitely gone. The question is, how much more can Phoenix Rising get? The Hanzo arrow missing just a bit there as the Horrify going out onto the Greymane as well. So everybody's up. This is the time. Down a talent. Looking for these kills here. Web Weaver on the court. It's going to get taken out here. Jet Propulsion coming in. Hits 2 with the silence following up. Can they get the kills on him? They get the Johanna. Leoric is going to make it out. Urel, I don't think, is in a position to keep going. And I think that this is the time you back out. You've got Web Weavers sitting here on your top keep. Let's go get that taken care of. You defended, you didn't lose the game. Big wave bot lane. You got level 16s now. 20 seconds until Johanna's back up. So the question is, where do they go and what do they do now? They have 43 gems for Bread Rising. 26 so far for Phoenix Rising, but they also have 2 camps going on the map. They got the Bruiser camp that they just picked up there in the mid lane. They got the Siege camp in the bot lane. And right now it's looking like we're going to keep going with the Bruiser camp. Johanna is on her way. All of the ultimates available except for Wailing Arrow, so ideally, if you're Bread Rising, you want to kind of stall this out a little bit. Oh, Blessed Shield going out, misses the Blaze. Silence coming out from Stukov here. Yrel knocking back the Leoric, but I mean, he's just Leoric, so he's mostly okay. He's gonna take a boatload of damage though. But that does give the clear over to Bread Rising now, pushing back Phoenix Rising Ruby. But Ruby is now gathering here at the boss, and the question is, does Bread Rising recognize this? And it looks like they might, but Sylvanas is still in the bot lane, so they have to be very careful about coming in on us. We see the movement pings, but still no Sylvanas. Sylvanas is, oh my goodness, she's still down there. They do get the pull off, but this still might not be worth it here. Leoric's gonna get that big entomb, the bunker coming out. McGiblet's getting the knockback out of his fleeling swipe here. And now Sylvanas is here. Here comes the Wailing Arrow. Just barely hits the Hanzo. Hanzo's gonna have to leap over the wall. Now Jasillo is on an island here, but so is Yrel. Yrel does not have Ardent Defender, so both of those will go down. Leoric, however, gonna fall next. Blaze coming in, looking for this Ana, is gonna get a triple kill. 3 for 1. And I think they're going to make their way to the boss now. Phoenix Rising currently ahead in the XP just a little bit, about 20% of a level. But Bread Rising has a lot of clear for this. I mean, Sylvanas does a lot of damage to this, especially with the Merc Queen. Gul'dan does a lot of damage. So this is a quick burn here. And I like this play from Phoenix Rising. If they know that they can't get the boss, at least they can start getting some damage, push up the lane here, force Bread Rising to come back and address this. And now they'll have maybe not the freest of clears, but they might actually save their keep now. Maybe? I don't know. We'll see how much damage this does. It's gonna be close, I think. Just might get it. Looks like it will. Oh my goodness, so very close. That last attack. And now we're gonna get Web Weavers, and this is really positive here for Bread Rising. They've got their Bruiser camp in the mid lane. Bottom lane doesn't even matter at this point, but they do have level 20s available on both sides. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. You know, going into the bot lane to defend that, you know, against the 2 heroes, I think that they probably could have just pushed to end there with the boss, but they got the Web Weavers coming in now, so they had kind of the same challenges in game number 1. But it worked out for them. They did, in fact, succeed at game number 1. So right now, it's looking very strong here. Web Weaver falling to about 25% roughly. So the Web Weaver in and of itself is not going to finish this keep for them. They're going to have to actually get some value. They did get the black arrows used. Blessed Shield going out onto Gul'dan here. There's the Dragon Arrow play of the game coming in. We've got Gul'dan getting silenced here. Greymane getting that kill. Blaze had the bunker, but not really either close enough, or Gul'dan just wasn't aware that it was there, so couldn't quite do anything with it. And the Web Weaver not going to get any damage onto the core. No keep down in the mid lane, and bot lane's not going to get a whole lot done either, so We'll see what happens here now with Bread Rising. They've taken a lot of uneven fights, and they've won a lot of uneven fights. The only map available, or camp available here, the Siege camp in the bot lane. Correction, the Bruiser camp just spawned. And 50 gems available for Phoenix Rising Ruby at this point. So they're very close. They could clean up that top lane, have enough to turn in. Red Rising going to pick up the Siege camp. We saw Phoenix Rising do the same thing earlier. But they do have pretty good vision. Let's actually take a look at that vision here. So they see the two up top. I'm positive that they saw Hanzo earlier. And, but that's going to give here, let's see. For Phoenix Rising, they see the Blaze there in the middle. They see the Siege camp. They do see a pretty significant presence in the mid lane there. So overall, I mean, this is the place that they're likely to be. And they pulled off the camp? Yikes. If Bread Rising was 2 seconds faster in their rotation there, I think that they could have just walked on and taken that. And now, Phoenix Rising has enough for a turn-in. Bruiser camp just taken out. Gul'dan doing so much damage here. Blaze coming in, trying to get the stall out. Doesn't get it onto the Johanna, so 26 gems turned in. Hanzo coming in. Gul'dan's heading up top, though, so got to be careful about the communication here, about where they're going. We see all five, and so this is the full 5-on-5. Here it is, Jet Propulsion coming in. Leoric's going to go ahead and Wraith walk away. Yrel, however, in the back lane gets a Blessed Shield. Is going to be able to pull off the Ardent Defender and Entomb used there just to zone out the team. Jasillo may fall here, but so may Yrel. Looking for the one more shot onto Johanna, but not quite going to be able to get it. The healing just enough to keep her alive, so it's just the 1-for-0 trade there. Getting the Yrel. Now, Boss is coming up in 25 seconds. Certainly much faster than when Yrel is going to be on the map. So we'll see if either team looks to prioritize getting that Boss into this game. But for right now, it looks like Phoenix Rising says, hey, you know what, we can get a free turn in. Let's do it. The lanes are pushed fairly far in the top lane here. They do get the turn. The Boss did just become available, so depending on what happens here, we may see that coming up soon. Leoric has the Entomb, so got to be careful about the positioning. There it is, right there. I figured that was coming. The Ominous Wraith coming out as well, so the Unstoppable Sylvanas going into the bunker along with Blaze, so they do have that extra bonus armor coming out of it there, and the Leoric's going to be the one that falls. Once again, I mentioned it earlier, these 5 versus 4s, and they just don't care. Play of the game is going to come out here. Hanzo's going to have the nano boost coming in from Ana, but Blaze is going to now fall. So this is back to 4-on-4, but Leoric will be back far sooner. Unstoppable used for Yrel. The Web Weaver's coming in the mid lane, so should be able to clear out the most dangerous of the lanes for Bread Rising. But Greymane looking for Stukov is going to get thrown back by that mighty, that massive flailing arm from Controlled Chaos. And Bread Rising pushing off Phoenix Rising, forcing them to come back and rejoin with their Web Weavers. Yrel down in the bot lane is going to clear out the Web Weaver now, so once again, we do still have an uneven fight here. This is, technically speaking, 5-on-3. We get the silence out onto Stukov. Stukov can't knock this back. There's no bunker. That's going to be the kill. Horrify was used there, but it can't stop the unstoppable Leoric. Leoric taking so much damage, though. Looking for that knockback here. The Avenging Wrath coming out. Ardent Defender going to be used. They do get the kill onto the Leoric, but can Lighthouse survive? The Dragon's Arrow coming in. Play of the game, but Greymane going to fall next. And they get the kill onto Ana. This is now a 3-on-2. Sylvanas maybe falling. Jet Propulsion coming in. Can they get the kill? They get a 5-man team wipe out of this. They do have garbage on their core, but at this point, that's an easy cleanup. And in theory, they will work to go win the video game. Maybe? Guys, do we win this video game right now? We're dancing around with Leoric. Okay. That's cool. Leoric back on the map here, so very close to a turn-in for Bread Rising, but literally doing nothing right now. Oh man, idioms in chat. All right, we're going for the boss. Sylvanas has pulled the boss. They have the Gul'dan, they have the Stukov, they have the Blaze. They don't have a ton of time. They could have a Dragon Arrow coming in here. Also, Leoric Entomb could just be brutal. They pull off the boss here. A lot of damage going into Leoric. He's gonna have to Wraith Walk away, but that might be just enough time. Look for the Dragon Arrow from Hanzo. Speaking of Hanzo, where is Hanzo? Hanzo's right here, right next to Johanna. That's why I didn't see him. All right, boss is going. So this is now turning into a core race, I think. Greymane heading down here. Linehouse is here to defend it. We've got the play of the game. Hanzo's coming in. They've got the Greymane for the core race, and that's it. So boss is going. Horrify's going out under the Greymane. They need to kill that Greymane for sure. Core at 77%. They get the kill onto Leoric. Core still falling 60%. Rodney Strong going on it with the Ana here. Hanzo getting lots of damage. They gotta get kills on these. Jasillo is gonna fall. They get the kill onto Hanzo as well. There it is. Oh, Jasillo took a little bit longer there. Greymane the only one left alive. And there are no catapults or anything here. Now, the boss is working on the core. But with Greymane here, I don't know if it's gonna be able to kill it. I mean, the rest of the team should be able to. But you never know. They might stop for like a bruiser camp or something on the way. 28%, that's an 8% burst. Greymane almost has this down, but it's not going to matter. Sylvanas coming in. And ladies and gentlemen, 2-0 victory. Bread Rising Esports taking it to Phoenix Rising. The number 8 seed out of Division B East. Making their way to the semifinals. All right, let's see if we can get a... Oh, they're already waiting for me. But we'll get to them in just 1 second here so we can show that. This up. And... that is perfect. There we go. Alrighty, everybody. I am joined by is it Jasillo? Where'd you go? Why did you leave? Okay, well, we'll come back to that in a second then. Let's see. Let's see, who can I message over there then? Purple? Can I message? No, I can't message Purple. Gotta? There we go. Alrighty. So hopefully they'll send somebody over here for an interview. Perhaps. Perhaps not. All right, they're checking on their player to find out where they went. So we'll see what's going on. I wonder if there's anybody else still going. There was a late night cast, I think, 11 p.m. cast. Yeah, Clerk Patrol and Who Knows Gaming. Also, Would Tap That versus Can't Counterpick Stupid might even still be going. Let's see. Oh,
wait, are you trying to interview me?
Hey, oh, there we go.
It's Jaslow. Well, we lost, my guy. Oh, you wanted the winning team.
Oh, no, you're right. I was just looking at the name and I assumed it was you because of the fact that you were already in here and I was like, hey, we're good. And then I messaged, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. All right, so now, yeah, there we go. Now we got Linehouse.
I heard that the other team was called, so I came instead.
Yes, good plan, because I had hopped in, I saw the lobby, I saw Jaslo in here, and just made the assumption that whoever was in here was obviously here for me. So clearly that's not the case, but now we are joined by Linehouse, and welcome. Congratulations. That was an amazing set, and you guys have to be super hyped after that.
Oh, I mean, definitely. We feel that we did definitely rise to the occasion this evening to 2-0, the number 1 seed, and it feels pretty good. Pretty good.
So you guys played them in the regular season, and it was a 1-2. They took that victory, correct? If I remember correctly.
Yes, they did beat us 1-2. I think they won game 1, we won game 2, and then they took game 3.
Gotcha. So I don't even think that was all that long ago, just maybe 3 weeks ago or so. How does tonight compare? What did you guys do differently to make sure that you could beat this team? Because Phoenix Rising is a strong team. They were a very strong team in this division, and you know, when we played them, I felt like, you know, they were a strong team. They had their act together. But you guys in the second half of the season have really done quite a bit, and now you find yourself 2-0 over them. So what did you do? What kind of things in practice did you practice?
I mean,
obviously,
honestly,
without giving away too much, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're just like, with the work we've been putting in, we've been seeing better results from the team. Like, we hope to be in the upper crust of Division B that once the playoffs are finished. You know, we finished 8th, but we want to, you know, make it to the finals to show that we should have maybe done a little bit better in the regular season. You know, as long as our draft plans don't go awry, because like in that first match against Phoenix Rising, I feel like we misdrafted a couple times. That's how we kind of lost to them. But as long as we're playing our game, we should be able to toast our opponent's core and stay on a roll.
How long did it take to put all that together?
I don't. How dare you? I made that up right now. I was not reading a script at all and ad-libbing.
Oh man, well done. So, you know, I don't want to ask too much about specific things, because obviously, you know, we're in the playoffs. I don't want you to give away the things that, of course, you're gonna need against us when we play you in the finals.
Ooh.
But
like
you know, so just tell me about some of the things that you want to talk about based on how you played tonight.
I mean, I really feel like our team is gelled in the second half. Like, we struggled in the beginning. We weren't really sure where everyone's strengths were, and I think we've kind of discovered that as we've gone along. So I'm actually really happy with how we've kind of, you know, come together. And I mean, I don't know. I know I think Division B East is so close and so tight. I think, you know, obviously tonight kind of shows that any team can win, and so it's going to be a dogfight to see who actually comes out on top to finish to play you know, what are they called? You're Not Alone or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean the Div B West team. I'm sorry, I didn't say I was going to win that. Right?
Well, sure, yeah. I think everybody kind of assumes that Yana's going to win, but yeah, I mean, they haven't dropped a single map. So the real question, though, is, like you mentioned, you know, B East is very competitive, very close in a lot of these games. I mean, top teams have lost to bottom teams, and when I say bottom, I mean the bottom of the playoff section, right? And it, like you said, it could be that any of these matches here could be upsets. I mean, you've got Salt Scale and Tiny Dancers. Tiny Dancers has definitely played better in the second half as well. Salt Scale kind of had a roster adjustment, so Tiny Dancers could potentially take that over Salt Scale. Demonic Entity Within has played very strong. Party Time has also played very strong. You know, Regen Phoenix lost to Jailbait. So it literally could be anybody playing against anybody in the next round at this point, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. Like, I mean, I have to be honest, like, after we played the regular season, I actually thought the Salt Scale Merkles was the best team we faced all season. And they finished, what, 3rd or 4th?
Fourth, yeah.
I think it's like a really close division when that kind of can, you know, you can kind of see that and feel that while you're playing.
So the interesting thing is with all of these teams being so competitive, Do you think, I don't know if you've watched much of the B West, do you think that You Are Not Alone being separated so far from the rest of B West that You Are Not Alone is on par with B East? Or do you think the rest of B West is on par with B East? What do you think about that?
Honestly, I think like You Are Not Alone is playing better than any team in B East, but I also think the lack of true competition in a sense might make it harder for them to face the B East team, whoever comes through in the end. So I think we're all going to kind of make ourselves better.
And
also,
you know what?
let's be honest. They have Wipeout and Yonners on that team. How good can that team actually be in the end? Right?
Oh man. I
am kidding, just so everyone knows. No one goes with a hissy fit. Like, those are two people that I'm friendly with. That's
right. And I have to agree. Like, we saw in season 6 when Regen Red was in a very competitive Division C East, went to the finals against Boogan Squad, who, not Boogan Squad, I'm sorry, it was Rush B. Boogan Squad was Div D at that time. Rush B. And Rush B had, like, pretty close to dominated C West. I think they had lost, like, 2 maps, maybe. And it wasn't even close. Like, it was just, like, they were 2 different divisions. So it could be. I mean, we could see a very competitive grand finals, or we could just see a landslide one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the trick of it, right? You never know what you're going to get.
So I do want to point out there were a couple of really fantastic plays, that you guys had tonight. The Duke of Sky with those Ring of Frost. I can't tell you how many plays were made by Jaina in game number 1. The Blaze play tonight. There were some circumstances where the bunkers didn't get used, and I felt that, like, right there, because I know you're just like, come on, the bunker's right next to you. Get into the... Okay, thanks, Gul'dan. Just
hop
go
into
die.
the safety cone.
Right? Get your armor.
The water's nice and warm. Come on in.
So, yeah. So, I mean, I did want to point out there were some, really great plays. There was a play where, they were just slightly out of position. You dove in. This was on Stukov, game number 1, up above the support camp. Knocked him back into the team, obliterated him, and that set you guys up, for more kills. And it seemed like you guys were always coordinated enough that even when you were down heroes, like, there were so many 5v4s or 4v3s where you're like, whatever, we can win this. And you did. So
I know I agree with you. Like, Duke did, like, destroy in game 1 with Jaina with his rings. And actually, there was a couple of times I wanted to hit somebody with my little hammer of justice and stun them. And I'm like, oh, I see ring coming down. Don't do it. Just let it happen.
Right.
So you have to hold back on that. But I mean, I just feel like it's hard to just even point out to one person, because I feel like everyone, like, McGibbets has been playing fantastic on support. Nay's been doing fantastic on DPS. I mean, Snag's okay on tank, but the rest of us are fantastic. But like, we are more on the same page than we have been, and we are more trusting. When someone says, I'm doing this, I got this, people are responding saying, all right, let's do it. 4v5, F it, let's go in. Who cares?
Absolutely.
Oh, Nay played Jaina game 1. I was trusting Aero on that. My bad.
Oh no, that's true.
Right.
That is true.
Thrall, yeah, Duke was Thrall.
Yeah. They swapped at the last minute. That's right.
I said that everyone plays well, because I can't. To be fair, I always forget who plays what.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Yep.
I'm lucky to know what I'm playing half the time.
Well, fair enough. Let's go ahead and wrap up. So I don't want to deprive you of shout outs, nor my final question, which is, was there any particular moment that you wanted to make sure was highlighted from the match tonight?
I feel like, I kind of feel like either what you were talking about, where we jumped on them on the camp, or any of the rings. Like, all of those I felt were really strong plays. Although, I guess game 2, we didn't go to game 3. Game 2 on the core defense. Woo!
Oh man, yeah, that was tight.
Maybe that's not a bad one.
Yep. All right. Well, any shout outs? Go ahead.
Obviously, shout out to my whole team. We, it's been fun playing this season. You know, whenever it ends up finishing up, because it could end up, you know, could be next week, could be later on, who knows. Been great playing with everyone. Shout out to yourself for casting us. I know you're doing scouting ahead of time, but you know, I appreciate you still casting our match.
Well, we were practicing tonight. Just to clarify, we were practicing, and I picked this up because I wanted to make sure that, you know, that our division got represented. So
yeah,
I left practice for this. But continue.
Oh,
sorry.
You're such a sweetheart. Shout out to the Beatbox and the fam. I know they're watching. They're waiting for me in the party bus to, you know, I'm sure talk about this match. They have more puns that they want me to read, but I have to be honest, I really don't feel like reading them and making them work right now. I'm just being lazy.
Save them for next time.
Yeah, save them for next time. Snack can do them, whatever. He's got more gusto with that than me. And then shout out to the NGS for still trucking and making us play this dead game. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for joining me, Lion House.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, that's it for us here tonight. We're just doing the one. But you know what? There's another playoff match that I think you guys will enjoy. I'm going to send you over to my good buddy over at Murda RG, the OG Regen founder. And but thanks everybody for joining me tonight. Just wanted to show you here the bracket real quick. Bread Rising Esports 2-0 victory over Phoenix Rising Ruby. That's going to send them to play against the winner between Saltscale Murgles and Tiny Dancers. And coincidentally, you can find that game here right on twitch.tv/AeroRG on Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Looking forward to it. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.